Okay, hello everyone again. Today, right now, we'll be discussing. Uh, this is the third lecture. I don't know why this chapter, which is chapter 4, took this long time, but I think I deeped in adjectives too much, and this is really good. It will be really benefiting to you. Okay, right now we'll be taking prepositions and prepositional phrases, which is a really important topic for your writing and for English in general. So we obviously know that English has four parts of speech, or I think there are five. Yeah, there are five, which these five things or five parts are nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and also we have prepositions. Okay, there are a lot of parts of speech, but we won't be mentioning them right now. We only will focus on these five. Today we'll be discussing prepositions. Prepositions are little words such as of, to, from, in, and at. Prepositions can be one word, can be two words, and can be three words. One word, as we all know, from, to, and at, they can be two words, such as because of, and they can be three words, in front of. But obviously, when they are even two words or three words, we obviously use one of the major prepositions. I mean, like if you read the second example, which is a preposition that contains two words, we can see of. Okay, the second word it's of, because of. In the third example, which contains three words, a three-word preposition, it is in front of. So we have in and we have of also. So obviously, you combine words or prepositions together and you create another preposition. Okay, these are the famous prepositions in English: about, above, across, after, against, and these, all of them. We have two-word prepositions such as according to, because of, and we also have a three-word preposition such as in addition to, in back of, in front, in place of, etc. But these are the most famous, okay, prepositions in English. Anyhow, some words such as to are sometimes a preposition and sometimes are another part of speech. In discussing this, I'll be telling a really important thing. Okay. A preposition always is followed by a noun. Okay, memorize this. A preposition is always followed by a noun. So if you're perplexed with a word that you know that it is a preposition and you want to know if it is functions as a preposition or as another part of speech, you always look at the second word or at the following word. If it is a noun, then this word is really a preposition. But if it is not a noun, well, you have to specify and know what kind of part of speech is this word. Anyhow, the word to, okay, can sometimes be a preposition and sometimes can be another part of speech. When I'm telling you, we went to the supermarket, we have to. And we also, the second example, we wanted to buy some fruits. So we have here to, and we also, in the second example, we have to. So what is the difference? The first example, I'm telling you that we went to the supermarket. So we went to this specific place, which is the supermarket. But in the second example, I'm telling you that we went to buy. This is a complete verb. This is the infinitive. Okay, this is the infinitive form. So in the first example, we have a noun which appeared after the word to. So obvious, it is a preposition. To is followed by a noun. So it is a preposition. But in the second example, to is followed by a verb. Whenever you see this word to that is followed by a verb, it will be the infinitive verb or the infinitive participle. Okay. We all know what is the infinitive verb. It is the first form of the verb, not the second, not the third, which is the participle. No, it is the first verb, which doesn't hold any tenses. So this is obvious. When you see, no, you must know, I mean, first, you must know in general that prepositions are always followed by a noun or a pronoun, okay? But if they are followed by a verb, this is the infinitive verb. This is the infinitive structure, which holds the form of to plus the infinitive form of verbs. If we combined a preposition with a noun or a noun phrase, we are making a prepositional phrase, okay? So if I brought a noun or a noun phrase is such as my friend or the university. A noun phrase is a noun that has also an article or a demonstrative. This is the noun phrase. A noun phrase can be a noun by itself. So whenever you see a noun, it can be also a noun phrase. And also, a noun phrase is a noun that is combined with an article or a demonstrative. So my friend alone without for is a noun phrase because my is a demonstrative, and also the university. The university is a noun phrase because we have here an article and the university. Actually, articles are included in demonstratives. You will be taking this later in linguistic courses, in the linguistic course. Anyhow, if we combine the preposition with a noun or a noun phrase, we are making a prepositional phrase. What is a prepositional phrase? It is the phrase that is built or combined of a preposition and a noun phrase or a noun in general, such as for my friend in the university. I have a preposition which is for, and I combined it with the noun phrase my friend. So I here created a prepositional phrase. Okay. Okay. Anyhow, some prepositional phrases answer the question where. So right now we will be telling the types of the prepositional phrases. We have, I think, 4 types of prepositional phrases. One type, it answers the question where. These we call them the preposition of place. I mean the prepositional phrase of place. When I say on the desk, I'm asking you, where is this thing? Okay, right now I'll describe for you the place. It can be on the desk. It can be opposite the door, in the closet, next to the window. So here I'm obviously describing a place. And you must note also that all these prepositional phrases are combined of preposition and a noun phrase, such as on, it is a preposition, and the desk is also a noun phrase. We have an article and a noun. Opposite the door, it is the same thing. In the middle of the room, okay, in the middle of the room. In the middle is a prepositional phrase. Of the room is another prepositional phrase. So obviously, this kind of prepositional phrases is really important in describing, or in space order paragraphs, because it describes a place. It makes a description. And this what we have focused on the space order paragraphs. We were describing things. So this kind of prepositional phrases is really important in space order paragraphs. Note well, these prepositional phrases are useful in space order paragraphs to show the location of objects in a description. Okay, so you always use prepositional phrases of describing the place, such as these examples, in space order paragraphs. The second kind of prepositional phrases, they answer the question, but they tell you the time. Okay, prepositional phrases of time. For example, at last, before the test, when should I do my my revision before the test? So the time is before the test. After that, after this, blah, 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 you do this. So I'm giving you a time, I'm giving you a duration of time. Upon arrival, after class, in the morning, I'm telling you that drink your coffee in the morning. So I'm giving you a specific time. Because of this, we call them prepositional phrases of time because they describe time. This kind of prepositional phrases are useful in how-to paragraphs. Why it is useful in this kind of paragraphs? Because it gives you the order, okay? It gives you the order of steps and instructions. If you remember the how-to paragraphs, such as how to have a successful garage sale, we discussed that we have steps and instructions, okay? And this kind of prepositional phrases is really important because it tells you the time to order or organize your steps and instructions. So always put a lot of prepositional phrases of time in how-to paragraphs because they're really important in this kind of paragraphs. Anyhow, we have other prepositional phrases that describe position. When I say position, I mean the possessive thing that you can exchange it, not always, but you can exchange it with a possessive S, such as the father of the bride. This father is the father of this bride. Or I can say the bride's father, that I mean here that this bride has a father and this father is for this bride. So I'm giving you the possessive thing. The name of my friend. My friend owns a name, okay, and this name is for him. So I'm giving you the position or my friend's name. The colors of the rainbow. This rainbow has colors or owns colors. These colors for the rainbow. The president of the company or the company's president. So there are prepositional phrases that are used as position. You can see these words that are in green color, okay, highlighted in green color. They are prepositional phrases. Of is a preposition, the bride is a noun phrase. We combine them and we made a prepositional phrase, and etc. So on, all of these examples. Other kind of prepositional phrases, it describes or identifies someone or something. When I tell you the women, which women? The women with the red hair. So when I told you that this woman has a red hair, okay, right now you described it to me and I identified it. I knew which women you are talking about. So I gave you some specific examples. The car with the flat tire, which car? This car that has the flat tire. All right, right now I know which car you are talking about. The man in the blue shirt, the student from Palestine. Which student you are talking about? I'm talking about the student that came from Palestine. So from Palestine, okay, is a prepositional phrase that is used as a description or to identify someone or something. Okay, right now we will be talking about variation. When I say variation, I mean to vary something to make it stand out of something else. In writing, generally, we have a pattern of writing. We all know it, the subject, verb, object pattern, which means that I write the subject, the verb, and then the object. It is really usual pattern, okay, in writing. But right now, I'll be taking variation, how to vary your pattern to make your own writing. Okay. Because when using this pattern always, which is the subject, verb, object, it will be boring. So try to vary. When I say try to vary, I mean make a different pattern by sometimes try to vary, make a different pattern by sometimes starting a sentence with a prepositional phrase. How can I start a sentence with a prepositional phrase? Okay, right now, let's see what is the difference. Okay, what is the difference between the usual pattern and the new pattern, which is starting it with a prepositional phrase. When I say the usual pattern, I mean get 8 hours of sleep before a big exam. We have here the subject, the verb, and we might also have an object because some verbs don't take any objects. So this is the usual pattern. I'm telling you that get 8 hours of sleep before a big exam. But when I make a new pattern, I'm making you expecting something. I'm making you wondering what will be next. Such as when I say before a big exam, comma, okay, in this pattern we use a comma. Before a big exam, okay, before a big exam what? I'm making you excited to what will be next. Before a big exam, get 8 hours of sleep. This is more, okay, this is a new pattern, which will be more amazing, not amazing. It will be more exciting than the usual pattern, which is the subject verb object. Also, when I say, I keep snacks in the second drawer, but when I, okay, exchange it and change it to the new pattern, I'll tell you in the second drawer, and then I'll stop. So you'll be expecting a new thing or something. What is will be said next? In the second drawer, comma, I keep snacks. Okay, in this case, we use a comma. So whenever you have a prepositional phrase and you want to write something, try to make it at the beginning because it will differ from the usual pattern. Okay, in this type we use a comma, but there is a type that we don't use a comma. Usual pattern, okay, there is a case that we don't use a comma in it. For example, usual pattern, a comfortable chair is in the corner. New pattern, in the corner, also we put the prepositional phrase in the first, at the beginning. In first, in the corner is a comfortable chair. Here, we didn't put any commas. A picture of me hangs above the piano. Above the piano hangs a picture of me. As you can see, we just exchanged, okay, and replaced one phrase for another phrase, and the meaning didn't change. And we also didn't put a comma. How this is possible? You must note well that we here exchange the subject with the prepositional phrase, okay? But this pattern only occurs if a sentence contains a subject and an intransitive verb. What is an intransitive verb? It is a verb that doesn't take any object. So when you have a verb that doesn't take any object and we have the subject before it and a prepositional phrase after it, you can exchange them and create a new pattern, okay, by putting the prepositional phrase at the first, then you put the subject at the end, which will make the reader expect something and wait until he continues the sentence, which will be a little bit creative, not as usual, not as always, not as all people do. This is all about variation. Okay, so we have two patterns. There's a pattern that you need to use a comma in it. And here, when we have an intransitive verb, you don't have to put a comma. So I think right now we are done. Okay, this is all about chapter 4. And it is really important, especially the subjects and the prepositional phrases, and also the variation. The variation thing will make you a little bit creative, because you will make your own pattern, not as all people do. So try to use variation in your writing. Okay, this is all about today's lecture. We discussed the prepositions and the prepositional phrases. I wish you good luck and goodbye.